Oh, to the Warren Pacific. Where does the 12th of March, 1942, in the Wirraway versus Encircled, play-by-mail campaign? Our landings are nearly complete. At Viveu, I-172 tangles with an ASW task force south of New Zealand. Still landing supplies here at Viveu. Carriers are covering the withdrawal of the valuable transports. I-128 runs into an ASW task force. Stingray is snooping around our landings at Wallis Island. She gets a torpedo off, but manages to miss, it looks like. And she gets damaged for her efforts, but not badly, looks like. Stingray tries again. Still unloading. So far, no sign of enemy naval units off of Veu or Wallis Island. Salmon continues the poor shooting of U.S. submarines this morning. So the carrier task force is still shepherding the transports out of the danger. They're also providing some long range cap just in case he decides to use patrol aircraft as strike aircraft. They don't know that he has a headquarters at Pago Pago. Uh, but Catalinas with torpedoes, even inexperienced, can still mess up your day. Oscars don't find anybody in the air. He's hit the airfield. Looks like he's got part of a combat engineer regiment there. I know he's got a U.S. Air Force Space Force. Yep, 114th. Lily's and Sonia's hit Clark. Sally's, as I talked about before, that is a base force there. So when my brigade is coming up, it can just force that crossing. Just confirming that is a fragment of a division, or part of a division, not a fragment. Whittling down the remaining troops there. Flip that face. Pressing the airfield at Lanchow and fort building. Oh, he came back for more after the Oscars were on long range cap last turn. Didn't expect that. And continues to pound the 56 Recon Regiment on Cylon. Warhawks strafing, trying to slow my troop movements. These aren't particularly important troop movements, but yeah, so it does look like Recon was right. There were about 11 frontline fighters still left at Clark. Okay, afternoon phase. Okay. Pretty quiet. covering disruption here. Say 4-1 reduces, just misses taking the base, but we'll get it next turn, certainly. This is a U.S. tank battalion attacking the recon regiment there. Okay, we'll speed through the end of the turn here. All in all, a pretty quiet turn. I'm sure the commander of Submarines Pacific will have something to say to his captains after this turn. So our valuable transports have withdrawn, undercover the carriers. We've mostly unloaded at Wallace Island. Still need to get some more supply there. But now we can properly build up Wallace Island as a threat to the Samoa Islands. There isn't really anything, don't have good recon on Pago, but judging by the losses reported yesterday, there shouldn't be any cruisers, damaged cruisers hiding out at Pago. Looks like they sank at sea. Further north, nothing particularly exciting going on in the Aleutians. China is still driving, pushing on Lanzhou and hooking towards Quellen. The 19th Mixed Brigade is still at least a week away from being able to force that crossing, as are the core 3 divisions and medium artillery regiments that are working their way up. So we won't move on Cullen for probably 2 weeks. 9th Division is ready to reinforce at Manila, so able to make a push there to begin wrapping up that campaign, and we're setting the conditions for final operations on Borneo. That's really doing guerrilla cleanup in Sumatra. In Burma, the 2nd Thai Division, it's just about assembled. Hopefully we'll be in the hex next turn, so we can divest the allies of Lashio. Meanwhile, in India, our forward units have made it to Nagpur, and we'll get a better sense now of what's here. The Ceylon operation has had the advantage of distracting a lot of his heavy bombers as they pound these 2 essentially battalion-sized units, while 100,000 Japanese are working their way towards Nagpur. It's always good to put the enemy, and give the enemy 2 different threats to deal with rather than 1. Anything else of significance? Probably not this turn. So we'll leave it here, and I look forward to our next chance to talk.